Hi, welcome back to Three Talking Rabbits. I'm Gail. I wanted to show a little bit of a different way of figuring a drawing that's a portrait, full body portrait. And we have, this is King of Batons again, so it's one that you've seen when I did the gesture drawing here. I showed that. And the gentleman is sitting in a chair that sort of tips his body back, and it shortens his torso a little bit because the chair tips this way, and we want to bring his body from here to here, so it's in an upright position. So what I'm going to do, and also I want to tip his legs forward so that those go in an upright position, because you can see he's sort of up on his toes a little bit. So I could do this in a computer program, but I don't like fussing with computer programs because they take me a really long time. And also, I'm going to move his hands, so his hands don't matter all that much, but I'm just going to cut around, the upper body and the lower body here. And what I'm going to do is, see, it would take me much longer to do this in the computer program because I would have to load the images. But see, I'm done. And all I have to do now is tape it on here like that, and that's all that's required. Super fast. Okay? I mean, obviously I have to print it and cut it out and stuff like that, but to me this is faster than a computer program, and I've just achieved what I wanted. And I can, all I'm going to do is cut this little section off being like that, and then I can put it right on the light table. So I'm going to come underneath his body here, because I don't need these. They'll just block the thing on the light table. But that takes care of that. Okay, now we can just take it right onto the light table. That's it. Also, I am going to not use this head. I am going to use this head, which I have printed out at approximately the same size. Measures the same, like distance-wise, but to me it just looks significantly bigger. So we'll see what happens with that. That's not a big deal. Okay, so the downside of the cut image is that I don't have a straight edge to go from. So what I'm looking for here is just a basic outline of it, and because this printed really dark, you can see all I have is an outline. I don't really have very much to work from. But this is at least going to give me an idea of, where he's going to sit, which is what I want. I can draw in the rest. Now, I do not trace everything, okay? That's not my deal. But I just want to get an idea of his proportions, and as I showed yesterday, I move things quite a bit. I'm not here to reproduce photographs, okay? But I do want to use or utilize the photographs to get an idea of the person's shape and proportion and stuff like that. I know that these are his hands. He's got gloves on in this. He's not going to have gloves on in ours. But it just gives me an idea of where he's going to sit. And that is all we're going to get from that whole thing. But he's sitting more upright, and I may actually more upright him as we go along. Now let's see, because this measured correctly, I don't know if it's going to be correct or if he's going to be way too big. So he's wearing a different cornet in this. Let's get his shoulders up where his shoulders should be. Yeah, it's too big. Because as I match that shoulder line there and there, you can see it's way up here. So it's just too big, but that's okay. I can just draw it in. I'm going to use my gesture drawing pretty heavily here. We're going to move this foot out like this. Actually, I'm going to scoot this over so I know you can see it. So this is more upright. The knee isn't going to move because he's sitting in the chair, okay? I know that I had the skirt going like this. A skirt. It's the part that comes off the tunic, okay? If the proper word is skirt. We gotta set the throne in because that's a hard object. It's not gonna move. Okay, and we want it to sort of match the Queen's throne, which has this, you know, pillar peak format to it. I'll go back in and fix the perspective on this afterwards. We're going to put the vanishing point like somewhere. We're going to 2-point perspective it, but we'll get there. Let's see. This is going to have to shift over. So again, we're going to have multiple limbed person here, but in order to fit in the throne, unless I make it an open throne, and I don't think I want to do that, because I need to get this lion head thing here. Yeah, we're doing that. Okay. Because then I get to put his hand up here, which we had already decided we were going to do last time. Okay, that's a little bit long, but that's okay. We're going to shift him around a little bit. That's approximately there. This hand, you know what, we're going to bring this up just a bit. Like that. This hand shifts upwards because it's got to hold on to that. So his hand is going to be approximately here. It might be over here. We'll have to figure out where that's going to sit. But I think, let's see, if his hand was here, his elbow is moved back slightly. Yeah, his hand's going to be right here underneath his face. And I may actually shift his head back as well to like there, so that that's more on the center line. Do you see what I mean, where I'm not actually copying a photograph? I'm using a photograph as a jumping off point so that it still looks like him. But we're doing a whole lot of changes here. This does two things. Number one, it makes it my artwork. So I'm not doing a copyright violation on somebody else's photograph. And number two, it's going to make it feel like the card. You know, like I don't need a person who's sitting in a camp chair. I need a king on a throne. But I can make a king on a throne from a person sitting on a camp chair. I wanted to show how much the drawing has changed from the photograph. Okay, so if you remember, we cut the photograph a little bit in order to, is that about right? Yeah, that's about right. Okay, so we cut the photograph across here to make him sit more upright. I used a different face than what was there, so this profile has changed. I have moved the feet over so that he's sitting more in a chair with arms, because of course he can't sit in the arm, he has to sit within the chair. I have moved his hands. His hands were previously in his lap. So this hand is here and this hand is here, a different head. So essentially, while this body is the starting point of the image, it is not where it ends. This type of, I'll call it tracing because that's what it is, but this type of tracing is just a tool to get you to where you want to go. Also, I had my husband do hands for me again because we need hands. So I think that's about it for this stage of where the image is. Next up is inking. So I will do some more filming on the inking process this weekend. So that'll probably be up in a few days, hopefully. And then get to the exciting thing called Paint Like Mad. Alright, thank you very much for joining me at Three Talking Rabbits for this other little drawing process. And I will catch you next time.